beloved viewers, welcome to this English news edition. Here are the top stories. Celebration of the 46th anniversary of the creation of the National Police Forces. And on the International Siemens mission, a submarine Titan's oxygen reserve at critical level. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. Under the auspice of the Prime Minister Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed, the National Police Forces celebrate Thursday the 46th anniversary of its establishment, and the ceremony dedicated to celebrating this occasion took place in the school's Idris Farah Apeni, affiliated with the police located in this town, and in the presence of the member of the government, including the Minister of Interior, Mr. Saeed Noor Hassan, as well as the President of General Staff of the National Army Forces, Lieutenant General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, and Director General for Security, Mr. Hassan Saeed Khairi, the Director General for the National Police, Colonel Abdul Rahman Ali Kahin, and many other militaries and civilian figures, in addition to members of diplomatic corps accredited to our country and commanders of forces friendly countries stationed in our country attend for this ceremony. This was the Prime Minister upon his arrival at the site of the school, the Minister of Interior and Director General for the Police, after which he received a salute of honor from the various formation of police. Then the national anthem was played.
À l'occasion de la célébration du 46e anniversaire de la création de la police nationale, les différentes formations qui la composent vous rendent les honneurs. À vos ordres, Monsieur le Premier ministre.
kumaray daar ilaah ku maraye dadkaygoon dhammaantii dadkaygoon dhaqso ugu adeego dadkaygoon oonu dhaga nublaada dadkayga daar ilaah ku maraye dadkaygoon dhammaantii dadkaygoon dhaqso ugu adeego dadkaygoon oonu dhaga nublaada dadkayga.
After the reception celebration of the 46th political anniversary of the founding of the National Police Forces were launched, the Prime Minister Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed, accompanied by the Minister of Interior and the Director General of the National Police, made a review of the troops.
maharsado daraarto kama hoyda dhaxante abad sugidda dhiirane nabti lagu hurdaanahay dhaacadiid maseexdo kama baxa dhufayske caadugii dhabbarayo shanqadhaan dhegaysta dhaacadiid maseexdo kama baxa dhufayske caadugii dhabbarayo shanqadhaan dhegaysta dhulka inaan difaacon dhoobadayda nabadda ah caadawaha ka dhowdan daar ilaah ku maray dhaar ilaah ku maraye dhulka inaan difaacon dhoobadayda nabadda ah caadawaha ka dhowdaan dhaar ilaah ku maray ku maray ku maray ku maray dhaar ilaah ku maraye dadkaygoon dhammaantii dadkaygoon dhaqso ugu adeego dadkaygoon oonu dhaga nublaada dadkayga dhaar ilaah ku maraye
In the first part of his speech, Colonel Abdurrahman Ali Kahin, Director General for the National Police, indicated that the National Police it has acquired the technological capabilities that enable it to work in the light of many security challenges in our changing worlds continuously. He then explained that the police command has set out the ensure of security of Djibouti and meet the actual need in this regard. The director said that his direction is a top of priority and this requires more focused work on providing conditions and capabilities needed to adapt the reality. In the second part of his speech, Director General of the National Police said that all these recommendations are intended for you so that the National Police Forces consolidate its trust and its ties with the constituent so as the mutualize everyone's contribution to containing insecurity and guaranteeing for the security at all times in our country. He said, I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to our partners such as the United States of America for the support in the file of training and specialization of the police techniques and scientific, but also as a special tribute to our President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margili. The Djibouti Police Forces is the backbone of the country's internal security. It must be supported and backed up in the interests of all in the country. Indeed, after that, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed led a word of the National Police Martyrs Monument, those who sacrificed themselves in order to protect the law and national gain, foremost of which he pays, and the stabilities. It is the peace and stabilities which our country is known for.
اللهم لا تحرمنا اجرهم ولا تحسنا بعدهم ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم.
At the end of the ceremony, this occasion was revitalized with the song and embodying the roles of national police in protecting public security.
عادت برينوي بعد اللي سلطة عندك منو نتهدفني بارول أمتهني دولات مدو هيت مدعال رمي تانا ماي آيون تسايا سلام دحرسانا ماي هدفني دولات أمتهني دولات مدو هيت مدعى رميتانا ماي آيون تسايا سلام دحرسانا ماي أنا بوليسي بارا اللي انت عندك منو بدينوي بار اللي سلطة عندك منو نك هدفني بارول أمتهني دولات مدو هيت مدعا ينتي ساياي سلام دحرسانا ما لك هدفني دولار أمتهني دولار مدو هيت مدعى رميتانا ماي آيون تساياي سلام دحرسانا ما أنا بوليسي بارا لدينتا عندك منو عادت برينوي بارا لسلطة عندك منو نك هدفني بارول أمتهني دولات مدو هيت مدعا
It was yesterday, Wednesday, the Campasky Palace Hotel hosted a workshop on developing the national health policies. The workshop was chaired by the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdili, with the participation of all actors from the Ministry of Health and technical and financial partners, as well as civil society representative. This 3 days workshop aims to produce a national reference document on community health policy. It is planned that the strategy planning of our country will be able to obtain for the first time a document of its kind, fundamentals of the community's health policies that will set up the courses for the implementation of all appropriate intervention in this file. Consequently, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdillah, invite women leaders from neighboring, from the countries and neighboring countries and the communities association to participate in developing the new roadmap in order to better involve them in the development of a current health document. Therefore, representative of the technical and financial partners of a UN agency wants to support the health policies of our country. The representative of UNICEF and the World Health Organization both expressed their satisfaction with participating in the event. She said that this workshop aims to produce a national reference document on community health policy. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdillah, indicate in his speech that his ministry is seeking to strengthen the social approach with the aim of improving the health system in the country, community national, which aims at universal health coverage in accordance with the Sustainable Development Goals and the expectation of our country. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed, sponsored the closing ceremony of the final in the the scholarship of 2023 edition at the People's Palace. Numerous personalities took part in this ceremony, including the Minister of Women and Families, Ms. Muna Usman Aden, the Counselor for Cooperation and Cultural Action at the French Embassy in Djibouti, but also the Prefect of Djibouti, Mr. Abdi Sekiye, the President of Bulaus Komin, Abdul Qadir Aden, and other guests were present at this ceremony. At the end of the competition, the minister and official present an awards and a valuable gift to the winners. As a reminder, the tests cover disciplines such as the French and Arabic writing production in French and Arabic for the question on students' general culture and the major school competition also include team sport events such as the basketballs, handballs. This was an opportunity for the Minister of the Education to highlight the festive nature of this major school competition, which brings together the entire educational families. These competitions are the crowning achievement of the um, merits, efforts, and self-improvement on the part of our brilliant peoples, declared the minister. In his speech, the Minister of Education, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mohamud, emphasized that this closing ceremony, which remains exceptional moments. So when we all came, he said, together to celebrate the passion for the learning and to pay tribute to the merits and excellencies. More generally, the minister recalled that these courses scholarship had already become an essential institution within our schools and establishments service uh, to offer our young people the opportunities to learn differently through the health and to find a common space that enable them to express their talent equally with a view to highlighting the potential hiding with them and arousing their vocation. This year's winners were particularly deserving of their awards given to the difficulties level of tests and young winners from the uh, region from the Holhol region won the basic education test, while young Hado Mahdi Hussein won the French writing production test, and the production tests were for the young Gadid Salah, which was, he was a brilliant success in a general culture competition, while Dakhil region, more generally, this national schools competition according by the schools life inspectorate in collaboration with all the countries inspector and social has been organized annually by the MENFOP since 2017. The major schools competition generate competition between schools and bring healthy emulations among students who seeks to uh, make their effort themselves to showcase their skills and talent. As a reminder, this competition draws its substance from schools with a view to reinforcing learning in a fun and motivating way. The events call on 21st century skills such as initiative, critical thinking, and creativity, communication, but also cooperation, and embodies civic morals and universal values. Yesterday, Wednesday, the Minister of Information in charge of Post and Telecommunication, Mr. Rodwan Abdullahi Bahdun, participated in the work of 53 sessions of Council of Arab Ministers of Information, which was held in Morocco capital. The session discussed a number of files, most notably the Palestinian issues, a follow-up to the plan of Arab media movement abroad, and the rules of Arab media in confronting the phenomenon of terrorism. The Arab Media Map for Sustainable Development 2030, in addition to developing an unified strategy to deal with the international media companies, encouraging quality and professional media excellencies, and enhancing the capabilities of Arab media professionals, as well as including the education of media and the curricula for all levels of media. Chaired by the representative Kaltoun Farah Saeed, the Parliamentaries' Legislation and Public Administration Committee convened today in order to make a meeting which was held in the committee hall dedicated to discussing draft law number 11 of the year 2023 for the 9 legislative bodies related to the reorganization of the Ministry of Health, a draft law number 12 of 2023 for the 9th Legislative Assembly related to the establishment of the University Hospital. After extensive discussion, the Legislation and Public Administration Committee approved the aforementioned law that was referred to the next plenary session of the National Assembly for approval. Indeed, today, Thursday, the Parliamentaries' Finance, Public Economic and Plan Committee held a meeting in the committee hall to discuss draft law number 13 for the year 2023 about the 9th legislative body approving the financial account of Djibouti Airport International for the year 2020. Within the framework of his visit to the country, the Qatari delegation paid a waiting visit to the headquarters of Djiboutian Kassaga. During this visit, the delegation received a warm reception by the commanders of Djiboutian Kassaga, and his closest assistants are the officials and personnel of the institution. During a short meeting that took place in the Hall of Honors, Colonel Wais Omar Bokhore said he sees this opportunity to brief the delegation on the various mission and operational capabilities of the Djiboutian Kassaga, as well as infrastructure and facilities for this maritime, and his concern with the securing the territorial waters of the Republic of Djibouti. After that, the two sides held a rich discussion during which the topics were interest and addressed joint efforts, especially in the file of maritime security for the Red Sea and Bab el-Mandeb Strait, and ways to enhance cooperation and synergies between two countries, especially with regards of training and knowledge exchange. The head of National Human Rights Committee participated in a workshop of great importance that organized the International Authorities on Development in Mombasa, Kenya. For this workshop was to validate the platform of National Institution Network, Human Rights on the Intergovernmental Authorities on Development. The Executive Secretary of IGAD, who was recently reappointed at the summit of Head of State in our country, participated in the conclusion. This workshop is dedicated to establishment of the network of national human rights institutions affiliated to the IGAD. In Tajura now, on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the World Environment Day, the United Individual Youth Movement organized, in cooperation with the United Nations Development Program, a workshop on the importance of environment and ways to protect it, and that under the young people are facing issues and challenges of combating plastic pollution. The event took place in the presence of the President of United Nations Unite and Indivisible Association movement, Mr. Ahmed Mogola, Deputy of Governor Habib Jilani, and the Vice President of the Tajura Regional Council, Abdul Qadir Umar Abdullah, and representative of United Nations Development Program attained for this event. The aim of the workshop was to raise awareness of young people about the harmful effect of plastic pollution, in addition to find effective solution to combat about the plastic pollution. And now in Dakhil region, under the auspice of the State Secretariat for Sports, witness the income of ceremony dedicated to launch the second edition of traditional tournament for games within the framework of summer activities for the year 2023 in parallels with the other cultural activities held by the Ministry for the benefit of young people in the Dakhil region during this period of 3 months of holidays. This city of the region of Dakhil region was the second stop for the fall games competition among the youth of the region, which is set up by the Ministry of Sport with the aim of protecting and evaluating traditional games. The launch ceremony for the second session took place in the presence of the region's authorities and the technical advisor to the Minister of Sports, Mr. Mohammed Salim, in addition to other guests. In a speech delivered by the Deputy Governor in this occasion, he indicated that this championship and other current activities will revitalize our rich national culture and heritage intangible. It should be noted that traditional games are an opportunity for the young people to have fun, and given the nobles and the proposals message they carried, some of them help in developing this part and the outlet of particular despite on their different standards of living. Under the aegis of the Minister of Youth and Culture, the agents of national promotion of culture organize a musical concert this Wednesday, June 21, at the Stalin West. This venue of known to all the especially renewed for hosting famous national and international artists who thrill the Djiboutian population. In the 80s and 90s hosted a musical concert last night featuring and the singers musician who held the audience and spellbound as they cheers on their artists. This festive evening enabled Djibouti's youth to relive the high point experience by the previous generation. For Djibouti's artists, it was a question of celebrating the music festival for more promising musical impetus. Those in charge of this organization of the council took the opportunity to speak in turns about the importance of this event and stimulating artists' motivation to produce more and as well as promoting Djiboutian arts and culture. For the international scenes, the search for the 5 occupant of a submarine with the disappear for the international scenes, the Titanic is continuing on Thursday in the North Atlantic with oxygen reserve likely to run out later today. The origin of the noise detected is still known, but time is running out. Breathing air reserve on boats are expected to run out on Thursday. For the search areas, raise hope and focus on the rescued and the scene. Those who are optimistic point out that there are still many bodies that is overcome, whether the locating vessel, researching with the rescued equipment, or bringing it to the surface, assuming it is still intact. Contact with the craft was lost less than 2 hours after the departure. The search area cover 20,000 square kilometer, is twice the size of the ocean in the zones reached. And before driving on Sunday, the had this maritime oxygens reserve 96 hours of giving it a live experience of 4 days for this embark on a exploration of the remains for the greatest maritime. For this is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.